What's up, everybody? This is Prepper Princess. So I'm getting a lot of questions about how my finances are allocated in my 401ks and my Roth IRAs. And as a millionaire, I think that it's really important to share this information, so let's get started. Don't forget to check out my book, Living on Almost Nothing. I will leave a link in the description below, and we'll go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so, before we get into it, I do want to tell you my finances are not your finances. For people who are going into the comments section and reading about other people giving financial asset information, I do want you to be very careful with reading those types of comments. First of all, there's a lot of bots out there that say, I invested in crypto and made $1 million and blah, 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 blah. Those are robots that are like somehow in the algorithm, and they got into YouTube, and they do it on all financial people's websites or channels, so be wary of those. There's also people who are going to come in here and say, you're not allocated correctly. I would like to know how much money you have because I have a lot. I am a millionaire. And now, first things first. Oh, and also, if you are not comfortable with doing stocks, don't do them. You know, you need to talk to a financial advisor. I am not a financial advisor. I have spoken with financial advisors before I made the decisions that I made several years ago, okay? So, in no particular order, I'm just going to put boxes. So I have dividends, okay? So dividend accounts are companies that provide you with a dividend for owning their stock, and I have these set up so that I make $12,000 per year, okay, or $1,000 per month. It's not really month, it's quarterly, but I have it set up so that I earn $12,000 per year. As you know, I live on about $1,000 per month. So if I were to retire, I could live off of only my dividends. The companies that I am invested in, the specific companies are AT&T, Apple, Johnson & Johnson, Amcor, 3M, Verizon, Amazon, Bank of America, Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola, and I also have a growth stock that I just put in there, which is RH. And RH is the only stock that, individual stock I have that does not provide a dividend. I bought in at about $145. I don't know what they're up to right now. I think it's like $650, $700. But I used to work there, so I invested with them as soon as I could. Okay, so the next one is going to be my Roth IRAs. And those are invested in the S&P. Oh, that's too small. The S&P 500 and the Russell 2000. So the Russell 2000 and S&P 500 are both index funds. So they're invested in mutual funds that go through the index. My next one is, let's see, what I've got here. Mutual funds. So these are what I would recommend to anyone if you don't understand the stock market. Mutual funds are places where you can invest in index fund. An index fund is like the Dow Jones, the Russell 2000, the S&P 500. All of those companies that you always hear on the news. The S&P 500 is down 2 points today while the NASDAQ is up 300, you know, stuff like that. So that's what an index fund is. And in order to get an index fund, you have to do it through a mutual fund. So the mutual funds I'm in are in the S&P 500, I love me the S&P 500, and the S&P 1000. So these are the top 500 companies, this is the top 1,000 companies. ETFs. So, ETF, S&P 500, you guessed it. There you have it. So top 500 companies, top 2,000, top 500, top 1,000. So that's where my diversification comes from, along with my dividends. I then have a tactical portfolio with a management, a money guy. So here's my happy money guy. He doesn't have a mustache or anything. But here's my money guy, and I do in fact pay him to manage my tactical portfolio. My tactical portfolio includes Blue Leaf, BlackRock, and Cabana 10. If you are interested, I will leave his phone number in the description. I'm not associated with him, but he did find out that a couple people emailed me and took their money over to him, and he sent me some chocolate. So I like chocolate, so if you're interested in having somebody manage your finances, I'll give you the information, but it's Joseph Laswell with Way Financial in Ripon, California. So that's my money guy. And he does things tactically, and he'll go over what you want if that's what you want, but I do my tactical portfolio with him. So if the stock market crashes, they actively manage it, move it all to cash and all that stuff. So during the, I believe it was 2008 financial crisis, while everybody else lost 50%, they lost 10%. So that was really important to me. So that's my money guy. Then we've got my other account, which I don't know what to call this account, but I put $25,000 in it, and it's pretty much cash, but, okay, so what I call it is a bad word. But look, I can't say the word, but okay, so this is BLSH to me. Bullsh. You see what the word is? And what it means is buy low, sell high. So this is if there's a correction or a turn in the market, I have $25,000 on hand to take advantage of anything like that. So last thing, just as an example, during 2020, when we had our friend Dr. Corona coming into the office, things started going down. Gas, airplanes, they didn't start like crashing, but you know what I mean, not crashing, but the stocks were going down. Cruise lines, few other things, but so I invested this $25,000 at that time in places like Chevron, BP, Shell, United Airlines, Royal Caribbean, and Carnival Cruise Lines. So this is what I do when something takes a tank and then I get in low and then I sell it high. And then when I sell it, I just put the $25 back into a cash investment, and I take any profits or proceeds and I put them in my mutual funds. Typically, I put them in the S&P 1000 because the S&P 1000 has been doing really well for me. When you go to the Roth IRAs through like companies and company matches and stuff like that, you don't have as many options. Like they'll only offer you like 2 or 3 options for like specific things. But when you're out there kind of doing it on your own, you can have anything. And people always ask, how can I do this? If it's when you don't understand it, it's kind of confusing and overwhelming. Try not to get overwhelmed, just educate yourself on it. But people assume that they can only invest through their company, but that's not true. There's now places like Robinhood where you can trade for free. And when I say trade, I'm not talking about day trading. I don't do day trading. I don't invest in crypto. And I don't invest in weird things, like things that are hype. Well, I guess hype. There you go. There's my hype fund. Yeah, this is like a hype. So when it comes to the stock market, there are going to be certain things that are available that are based only on hype. Things like Bitcoin, Dogecoin, those type of things come to mind. And hype does have a monetary value to a certain extent. But you have to be really, really like into understanding how it works before you go and do this. So I would only recommend this after you've been doing it for a long time and you understand how it works, before, taking $25,000, which is a lot of money, and then putting it in Bull's account. Buy low, sell high. So those are just examples. That is what I do. Now, again, I do want to say, my finances are my finances. If and another thing, I think YouTubers don't really do these types of videos because money is constantly moving. So because I'm doing this right now, in 6 months, this might be totally different. In a year, you know, if I make another video and I'm like, here's where my money is, and you guys go and you're like, well, a year ago you said, it's like, well, yeah, that's what it was a year ago, but now it's this, you know, it has changed. Money needs to constantly be moving, and your investments need to be constantly monitored, because as you age, your investments need to change. So right now, you know, I'm 39, I'm 40 years old. So I have 20 or 30 years to see the ups and downs of the market. So if you're 60 or 70 years old, you don't have the time left, you know, 20, 30 years to get your money back if there's a significant correction in the market. So you would be totally different than anything that I'm doing, and mine will change over time. So I think that, I mean, I can't really speculate, I'm just guessing that that's why a lot of YouTubers don't provide what they invest in. So those are my investments. I've got dividends set at $12K a year. My Roth IRAs with the S&P, and the S&P 500 just seems to be working for me. So, and so is the S&P 1000, the Russell 2000, and then the ETFs, S&P 500. I think I might even get rid of that and just put it over into the mutual funds, because the mutual funds are cheaper than the ETFs. So these are more expensive, but these are cheaper. Anyway, and my money guy, and he does that tactical thing, and that's all him. And he's doing really well. When you go with a professional stock guy, I don't know what they're called. Like, he has a bunch of letters after his name, but I just call him the money guy, or my money guy. I don't know if he's like, I don't know what to call him. His name's Joe. Like, what do I call him? Okay. But he is a professional, and he does do my thingamajiggy there, and yeah. I don't know what else to say. Does this even sound like professional? I'm just like, my money guy, and I take some money and I put it in a BS fund, and it's great. Like, does this even sound right? I guess we'll find out. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Again, don't forget to check out my book, Living on Almost Nothing. I will leave a link in the description. And don't forget to smash that like button, and I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget, if you believe you can or you believe that you can't, you are right. Prepper Princess out. How come your eyes are open now that I turned on the camera? Hmm? Hmm? You're so cute. You stole my pillow. You stole my pillow. Mm-hmm.